Far out in the reaches of our solar system, we fly through space on the third planet from the Sun, Earth. The United States is tied with China as the third largest country. On the westernmost shore of the USA is the most populated of the 50 states, also known as the Golden State, California. And resting squarely on the southern sector of that great state is a county unlike any other, the one, the only, Orange County. It is here that thousands of students have gathered to learn more about their county. Welcome to Anaheim Stadium, where we are live with over 10,000 third graders and Orange County's gift of history.
Whew. Well, bite my lip. That was quite a trip.
It sure was. Where are we? What year is this?
I'm not sure. Do you know the cure?
Oh, my information system isn't computing. Hello? Headquarters? Come in, HQ. Look at all those kids.
Well, I'll be. I bet they're all in grade 3.
Are you guys all in third grade?
Well, I'm Mr. Gray, and this is my fellow student teacher, Ms. K. How are you this very fine day?
I should probably warn you. He sometimes likes to speak in rhymes. Hello? Come in, HQ. My information system seems to have been damaged in the trip. Do you know where we are? Or what year it is? Do you know where we are? Angel Stadium? California! Whoa, I thought I lost you for a minute. I can't seem to get my data. What county are we in? And what year is it? 2015. Great! I don't know what's wrong with this device.
County of Orange. Well, that's a great... County of Orange, right by the... No, that doesn't work either.
This is fantastic. Mr. Rhyme-It-All can't think of a word that rhymes with orange.
Orange.
Well, you know what that means, Mr. Gray.
Orange.
It's my lucky day.
Orange.
You said if you found a word that you couldn't rhyme, you would stop rhyming for a whole week.
Orange, yorange, zorange. No, I guess nothing rhymes with orange.
This is HQ. Do you read me?
Hello, HQ. We can hear you now. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm sending your assignment information now.
Okay, I'm starting to get something. County of Orange, located next to Los Angeles, Riverside, San Bernardino, and San Diego counties. Population is over 3 million people. Also known as the OC. Wow, there's a lot of cities in Orange County.
Mr. Gray and Ms. K, have you explained your mission to the students?
No, HQ, but now that our systems are up, we'll get right to it.
Before you begin, I must stress the importance of your mission today. I really want to advance you from student teachers to full-fledged, certified Gift of History teachers. So be sure to get all of your students into the Secret Club. Today.
Yes, sir.
And you must learn to work together as a team.
10-4, sir.
Let me know if you need any assistance. I'll be checking in on you.
Thanks, HQ. Well, kids, as you've heard, we are here on a very special mission. We are time-traveling student history teachers, and we are here to help you become members of a very secret club. It's really important that you pay attention today because we all want to be in the secret club. Right? Great. And we are really excited about becoming full-fledged, certified Gift of History teachers. So we are going to be taking you back in time to learn all about the history of your county, Orange County. It's important to know about where you live because a big part of where you live affects how you live. And the objective is that by the end of this mission, each one of you will be able to tell others, like your teacher, neighbor, parents, or friends, all about your county. Orange County's history began a long time before you and me, and it's constantly changing. It's alive and all around us. I think that before today is over, you will see a few different things. That history affects us, and that we affect the future. There are lots of people who made a big difference in OC's history, and you can see their names wherever you go. And that history is alive, and it's all around you, all the time.
This is interesting. It seems there's a book called, wait for it, Nothing Rhymes with Orange by Stan Oftley. We are going to help you live the history that is on that book's very pages by taking you back in time and showing you things that have happened in OC's history. Sound like fun? Our sponsors have made sure that if you become a member of the Secret Club, that each one of you will be taking a copy of this book back to school with you today.
Well, let's get this class started.
Let's start at the beginning. Here we go.
What was that?
That, my friend, is the sound of one of the first residents of the OC millions of years ago. But he sounds a little too close. Let's get out of here.
Yikes, that was close.
It certainly was. Please be careful about where you're going next time.
Sorry about that, HQ. Won't happen again.
What was that?
That was a mammoth. Let me show you.
That's cool.
It sure is. The city of Buena Park might be best known for its famous berry farm. But did you all know that it is also home to Ralph B. Clark Regional Park, which is named after a former Orange County supervisor?
You can visit a great collection of fossils found from the 1950s through the 70s, and it's in an area that once was home to prehistoric animals such as the mammoth. And check out the 9-million-year-old skeleton of a giant prehistoric baleen whale named Joaquin.
And that's not the only place where prehistoric fossils have been found in the OC. The J.D. Cooper Center of Archaeology and Paleontology is home to more recently uncovered discoveries found during the excavation for some of the toll roads in the southern part of OC. Here, I'll play you a video about the J.D. Cooper Center.
Orange County, home to Disneyland, the Angels, and 180 million years of evolutionary history. Bet you didn't know that, huh?
Look at this! We're so lucky to live in Orange County!
Yep, I love the outdoors. What is the paleontologist doing?
He's digging fossils out of the ground so we can study them.
Of course we need to clean them.
She's working on a fossil whale, brand new to science.
Time to put the fossils away in museum cabinets.
I wonder what else used to live in the ocean.
Whoa, that Paleoparadoxia thing is really big. Look there! What's in the water?
This fossil is that of the largest shark to have ever stalked the seas. Say hello to Megalodon. The Megalodon sharks first appeared in the ocean around 28 million years ago and went extinct about 1 million years ago. By then, our ancestors were already walking around, so imagine trying to go swimming at the beach in those days. Based on the size of their teeth, paleontologists estimate the size of these massive hunters to be about 50 to 70 feet in length. That's longer than a school bus. They could swallow us up in one bite. Well, maybe two for a basketball player.
Oh, look! A school of long-nosed dolphins from 10 million years ago. We have a lot of fossilized walruses in Orange County.
This one is 15 feet long and was named Waldo. We have some really big fossil shells in Orange County.
This one's called a pecten. Here's another strange fossil called an ammonite.
This one's 100 million years old. Archaeologists study ancient human life.
The early people of Orange County might have lived with mammoths.
Those people lived an easy life here. Plenty of food, plenty of sunshine, and lots of water. Projectiles, also known as arrowheads, were used to hunt small animals.
The people of Orange County had many different kinds of tools that they used from cooking to decorating.
Cogstones are our big mystery. We are not sure how these things were used.
The stone on the left was used to sharpen projectiles, and the stone on the right was used as a decoration.
They were really good at making charm stone and stone tools. They also made lots of baskets. Thank you for watching our presentation.
For more information, visit our website at jdcoopercenter.org and follow us on social media.
Have a good day.
And remember, don't stop exploring.
That was great, but enough prehistoric. I'm ready to talk historic.
Well, long after the mammoths were gone, people began to populate Orange County. Let's take a trip back in history, about 5,000 years ago. Ready, set,
Native Americans, also known as American Indians or indigenous people, were here long before anyone else. They lived undisturbed, productive lives thousands of years ago. They hunted for their food and gathered resources from the land. Two different groups of American Indians originated from the Shoshone family. They eventually became known as the Gabrieleños and the Juaneños.
then Spanish colonization began around 1769.
Orange County continued to grow throughout the 1700s and into the 1800s. At first, this was an area where cattle grazed on large tracts of land granted by King Carlos of Spain and later by the government of Mexico. These were called ranchos. During the 1700s and early 1800s, wool from sheep and cowhides from cattle ranching were the top exports in Orange County. The wool was used for making warm clothing, and the cowhides were used to make the saddles and shoes. The first group of explorers that came here from Spain were led by Gaspar de Portola. Portola's Spaniards came to a place they called San Juan Capistrano, and they built a mission. Listen, you can hear the bells.
Here's what the missions looked like.
Did you know that the mission in San Juan Capistrano is the oldest surviving building in all of California? It was built in 1776.
And did you know that an OC mission was once plundered by pirates?
Are you serious?
Wait, you haven't been trained on that data system.
Teamwork, remember? Hold on. you walk the plank, I will.
Easy does it there, Mr. Gray. Careful with the equipment, too.
Of course. I'm sorry, HQ. I was just so excited. Whoa! There are real pirates here!
Yes, and in 1818, a French pirate, Hippolyte de Bouchard, and a group of buccaneers pillaged the California coast. They came ashore in San Juan Capistrano and plundered the mission, stealing valuable items and burning buildings. It's said that the pirates caused more damage than the 1812 earthquakes. It's getting rough down there. We'd better get a move on. Anchors away! What do you think happened to all of the pirates?
Maybe they became the surfers of today, dude.
I don't think so. But the beaches of California certainly became a popular place for surfers. In fact, an entire industry became popular in California based around surfing and skateboarding. It says here that the surf industry is now a multi-billion-dollar industry. It looks like surfing in OC can be traced back to 1907, when Hawaiian surfer George Freeth came to California to demonstrate surfing. It was part of a publicity stunt to promote the opening of a railway. It was owned by Henry Huntington. And guess which city was named after Mr. Huntington? That's right, Huntington Beach.
There's certainly no doubt that the surf industry has influenced fashion everywhere it goes. Companies such as Vans and Hurley International are dedicated to the surf industry in the OC and maintain headquarters in Orange County cities.
How many of you have a pair of Vans shoes? Well, the Van Dorn family opened the Van Dorn Rubber Company right here in Anaheim in 1966, and Vans still calls the OC home. The Vans U.S. Open of Surfing, the world's largest surfing competition, happens not far from here in Huntington Beach, or Surf City as it's known to people all around the world.
How many of you kids have ever caught a wave on a boogie board? Well, did you know that the man that invented the boogie board grew up right here in the OC? His name is Tom Morey, and he grew up in Laguna Beach. He loved to surf, but sometimes it was too windy to stand up on a surfboard. So he came up with the idea for the boogie board. He used his college education in math and his experience in the aerospace industry to come up with a successful design which he eventually named the boogie board. This easy-to-use design allowed more than just those who surfed to get out into the ocean and feel the experience of riding a wave. While people all over the world now know of the Vans U.S. Open of Surfing, most people don't know that Tom Morey sponsored the very first professional surf contest in California, the Tom Morey Invitational in Malibu, which is about 60 miles from here in Los Angeles County.
How many of you would like to invent something or start your own company?
Well, my guess is that we are looking at the creators and business owners of the future.
Well, I think it's time to leave the beach now, because I'm afraid we skipped right over the reason our county got its name. So let's move on.
Come in, Gray and Kay. This is HQ. Time for a pop quiz. Each question is worth 1 point. And remember, if you score 10 points, you all become members of the Secret Club. I'm going to put a question up on the screen, and I want you to yell OC and wave your arms when you see the right answer. Where did the first group of explorers come from? Very good. Let's do another one. What is the oldest surviving building in all of California? One more question. What family began a shoe business in Anaheim in 1966?
That's great! 3 points! You guys ready to learn more?
Oh, slow down, we're getting there. But first, let's travel to the year 1848, just before the California Gold Rush. Hold on to your seats. Just about the time John Sutter and James Marshall were trying to keep their discovery of gold a secret in Northern California, diplomats were working on a treaty to end the Mexican-American War. This treaty, later known as the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, allowed Mexican rancheros to keep their ranchos. But it soon became apparent, as it still is today, that water could be as precious as gold. In the 1850s, drought began to plague this area. Because there was no rain and very little water, the cattle began to get sick and die, and many crops dried up and died as well. As if that wasn't bad enough, the U.S. government started making it difficult for rancho owners, asking for proof of land grants showing that they owned their land, which many could not provide, and in turn, they lost everything. But in 1857, a man named George Hanson came to rancho owner Don Juan Pacifico, wanting to buy some of his dry land. Hanson, along with a group of German immigrants, wanted to grow grapes there. They had an idea to dig an irrigation ditch that was 6 miles long in order to bring water from the Santa Ana River. Don Juan Pacifico agreed to sell some of his land to them, and the group eventually named that area Anaheim.
Hey, you guys are in Anaheim right now!
That's right. But did you know that when counties were first created, that where you are right now was actually Los Angeles County? But settlers in Anaheim, Santa Ana, Tustin, and Orange did not like the way they were being ignored by their county supervisors. For 20 years, they tried to form a new county, and finally in 1889, 2 important men from Santa Ana, Billy Spurgeon and James McFadden, convinced the state legislature to allow local voters to vote on whether they wanted to be a separate county, which they did.
It's time now. Guess how your county got its name. Your county became famous for a delicious export. I'll give you a hint. Nothing rhymes with it. That's right, oranges. In fact, citrus crops became so popular here that in 1889, the places that you all live officially became Orange County.
Yes, but it wasn't just because of the export of oranges.
Well, that's true. The name Orange was chosen to attract all sorts of farmers to the area who would know that a Mediterranean climate, which is warm and mild, was needed to grow oranges and would in turn be good for growing their crops too.
So many different brands of oranges came out of Orange County. While you take a look at some of the beautiful orange crate labels of the area, we're gonna head back. Hold on. Water really helped to shape Orange County. And I mean that literally. While irrigation transformed the county's dry lands into fertile fields for farming, those crops and the homes around them were at risk for flooding. In fact, there was a great flood back in 1938, which led to the building of Prado Dam. Check out these pictures.
That was what the city of Buena Park looked like right before the Prado Dam was built. The flood was so devastating to so many Orange County residents. But today, because of that dam, it's safe to build neighborhoods that look like this.
Most of Southern California is a desert, which means Water is like gold. It's used for many things: drinking, bathing, growing crops, raising animals. We couldn't live without it. It's an important natural resource, so we all have to use it wisely. Did you know there are different places where you get your water? I'm going to show you some pictures. These are rain clouds.
Some of your water supply comes from rain. Much of this is sucked up into the ground and becomes groundwater. But it's also brought in from other local places. In the mountains, snowpacks form over the winter, and when the snow melts, it comes down the mountains and fills the reservoirs. You also have water that comes from far away.
A lot of our water is brought in from the northern part of California, or even other states, through a series of pipelines. This is actually a great place for a little quiz. HQ, are you ready to administer a quiz?
Sounds like a great idea. Let's try something different. See if you can put these items in the correct order of where we get the most water from. Greatest amount to least amount.
Woohoo! A chance to score a point. Do you think that rain is the biggest source of water here in Southern California? Does this look like the right order to you?
Let's try putting it in the number 2 position. Do you think this is right? We know what that means. It means that rain goes in the 3rd spot. I see that most of you knew that, so that's 1 more point added to your score. Only 6 more points needed to become members of the Secret Club.
According to my data, California seems to currently be in a serious drought. It says here that a drought is an extended period when a region receives a lot less water in its water supply, whether atmospheric, surface, or groundwater. California has been experiencing record low rainfall needed for snowpack, and it has caused all your water supplies to be very low.
What are some of the ways you think they can conserve water? I bet some of them would offer to stop taking showers.
Mr. Gray, let's be very clear. You're not suggesting that these children give up bathing. However, they can take shorter showers, though.
And turn off the water while you brush your teeth.
You kids can talk to your parents about more ideas on how to save water.
You know, those fountains sure are cool, but since you're in a drought, maybe we should turn them off to conserve water.
They definitely recirculate their water, but just to remind us to conserve, let's turn them off for now.
Now, let's talk about another important liquid that has helped shape your state. But it's not water. I'm talking about oil.
But what kind of oil? There are many kinds. There's cooking oil, tanning oil, crude oil, and motor oil. That's the kind you put into your car.
I bet you think that the oil you would find in Huntington Beach in the 1920s was tanning oil, right? I'm afraid not. These are oil wells. In the 1920s and 30s, they were all over Orange County, in places like Brea, Placentia, and La Habra. But the biggest oil strike was at Huntington Beach. Can you believe that's what Huntington Beach looked like almost 100 years ago? There was so much oil there that before it was known as Surf City, it was actually called Oil City. Miss Kay, you said earlier that the OC has over 3 million people, right?
That is correct.
Well, how did it get that many people?
Great question. Let's travel there and see. Here we go. According to my data, in 1940, Orange County was home to about 131,000 people. But after America entered World War II at the end of 1941, training centers and military airfields started popping up all over the OC. Because of this, thousands of soldiers, sailors, and pilots came to the OC as well. During the war, the population was more than 250,000 people.
The country's biggest military base during World War II was the Santa Ana Army Air Base in what is now the city of Costa Mesa.
The Army took over the Orange County Airport, and the OC was the home to the Marine Corps Air Station at El Toro, as well as the Santa Ana Lighter-Than-Air Station, which had giant blimp hangars. Those hangars are believed to be the largest wooden buildings on the planet.
After the war was over, many of the soldiers that had been stationed here stayed. In fact, the population doubled. They liked the mild Mediterranean climate in Orange County so much that they decided to move here permanently. Since the war was over, they needed to find jobs, and many of them went to work in the aerospace industry. Ms. Kay, is there a lot of aerospace still here in Orange County?
Well, it seems that in the 1960s, 15 of the 25 biggest aircraft companies in the U.S. were in SoCal. Oh, but most have moved or closed their doors. Today, Boeing is alive and well in Huntington Beach and is still a leader in aerospace. Oh, this looks interesting. Let's move forward a few decades. Hold on to your hats.
Looks like another military effect on Southern California happened at the end of the Vietnam War. Millions of Vietnamese refugees streamed out of their native land, and throughout the 70s and 80s, more than 800,000 refugees arrived.
The climate in this area was similar to Vietnam, so many of the refugees that settled in other parts of the U.S. eventually relocated to Southern California. Also, many computer, electronic, and defense industries were able to hire those with few English language or technical skills. The area in Westminster, officially named Little Saigon in 1988, is now home to the largest community of Vietnamese people outside of Vietnam. And the proud Vietnamese culture has been kept alive right here in Orange County.
This is HQ. Head on back, please.
Right away, HQ. Initiating time travel.
But you know, with the Orange County population boom, the landscape certainly changed through the years.
For more than 50 years, Orange County was one of America's great farmlands. But through the years, lima bean fields and orange groves gave way to shopping malls and housing.
HQ here. I think you should give the kids an example of how the population of Orange County has changed. I've arranged for a visual example. Check your data device, please.
This will be great. If my assistants are ready, let's release one dove. If that one dove represents the original population of 13,000 people, let's now release enough doves to represent the 3 million people that live in Orange County today.
Wow! That's a lot of doves! And a lot of people in Orange County!
It sure is. Time to earn a couple more points. HQ, are you ready to give them their questions?
HQ here. I'm ready. First question. What did the Santa Ana Lighter-Than-Air Station have in their giant hangars? Very nice. Here's your next question. Approximately how many people live in Orange County?
You guys are doing great! Only 4 more points until we are all Secret Club members!
That's right. Keep this up, and you two will be certified Gift of History teachers in no time at all.
So, did all of you know that many of the streets and places that you see every day are named after people from Orange County's history?
That's right. Here's an example. The city of Irvine is named after James Irvine. He was a grocery store owner who became a rancher in Orange County. Oh, and one of Orange County's first sheriffs was a man named Theo Lacey, who put on his badge back in 1890.
Wow, that was over 120 years ago.
He was the sheriff for many years and helped to build an escape-proof county jail in Santa Ana. It was called Lacey's Hotel. Not a place you'd want to stay. Well, guess what he had named after him? I'll give you a hint. It's not a hotel. It's the Theo Lacey Facility, a jail in the city of Orange.
I'll never stay in a hotel like that.
Me either. But one place I do like to visit is Knott's Berry Farm. Have any of you been there? Well, did you know that you might have driven along Knott Avenue to get there, and that both are named after Walter Knott, a Buena Park berry farmer who opened a fried chicken roadside restaurant in 1934. And that restaurant grew into the amusement park that we all know today.
You can even give gold mining a try there.
There are plenty of examples of this throughout Orange County. But rather than sit here and tell them to you, let's play a little game. I'm going to show you some names of cities, streets, parks, and other facilities. If you think these locations are here in Orange County, I want you to call out, OC!
And if you don't think they're here in Orange County, I want you to call out, oh no!
Got it? OC! And oh no! And we'll give you a point for each one we do. Are you ready? Let's go!
Gene Autry Way. Is that an OC or an oh no? Yes, it's named after Gene Autry. In fact, it's the street that leads into this very stadium.
Gene Autry was a famous movie actor. He owned the Angels and brought them here to Anaheim. If it weren't for him, this stadium wouldn't be here today. Let's try another one. Catella Avenue. What do you think? That's right! Catella Avenue is actually named after 2 sisters, Kate and Ella Ray.
The Ray family originally owned the land that the avenue goes through, and they were so proud of their daughters that they named it after them. What about the Portola Parkway? That's right. We talked about the explorer Gaspar de Portola before. The parkway was named after him.
In fact, the early Spanish explorers made quite an impact on Orange County. Many communities adopted Spanish names. For example, Mission Viejo translates into Old Mission in Spanish, and Oso Parkway means Bear Parkway.
Oh, I wonder if that means someone saw this on that stretch of road long ago. Well, you get the idea.
That was great. You now have a total of 9 points. Only one more point to go. As you've seen here today, many of Orange County's landmarks are named after famous people. How many of you are going to do something that makes you famous?
And then, someday, something might be named after you. Maybe a school, or a park, or a street, or even a city.
What was that? Wait!
I was looking for cool cars.
You have not been trained on this device. Oh, but it looks like you've taken us back to early 1900s. Oh, okay. Let's take a look at vehicles throughout the decades. Of course, transportation began with horses, And this stagecoach was how many people may have traveled from town to town. But once motorized cars became something that the average working man could afford, they became quite popular. The Model T was the first affordable and popular car, and by 1920, Henry Ford had sold over 1 million cars.
Excuse me, Mr. Gray and Ms. Kay. I've just heard from the Anaheim Chief of Police, Raul Quezada. He's going to be stopping by. He should be arriving momentarily. You all let me know when you see him coming, please.
Yes, sir. Initiating time travel.
Wow! Now that's a great mode of transportation.
Hello, everyone. I've heard a lot about what you've been doing here, and I thought I would just drop in. I've even arranged for a special guest to join us. Do you know who the most famous resident of Anaheim is? I can't hear you. I think you might be right. I'm going to give you a hint. His ears are bigger than anyone else's ears that I know.
Oh boy, I wouldn't miss it. I wanted to be part of history too. And besides, one of my favorite places in the whole world is right here in Orange County. Say, you live in Orange County.
Actually, Mickey, I work in the OC, but all of these kids live right here in Orange County. I bet some of them have even been to your home in Disneyland.
How many of you have been to Disneyland? Did you know that Disneyland was originally built in 1955? It's been truly amazing to watch Orange County grow along with Disneyland.
Let's take a look at how they began. May I?
Nice teamwork, you two.
You know, a good friend of mine once said that Disneyland will never be complete as long as there is imagination left in the world.
That's right, Mickey. You know, Mickey, your friend Walt Disney was quite a visionary. He was the inspiration for the beginning of all sorts of growth in Orange County. And Orange County will continue to grow into the future.
Yup, it's like Walt used to say, we're just getting started.
I hear there's a new land planned for Disneyland.
Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars.
Oh, let's give a round of applause if you've learned something new about Orange County history.
That's great. Let's talk a little bit more about Orange County's future. What do you believe is in store for us?
You know, the most important part of Orange County's future is right here in front of us. All these students, they're the future.
They sure are, Mickey. And we are extremely proud of these students and know that they will create a bright future for Orange County.
This is a great group of kids, Chief, but I'm afraid one group is 1 point away from getting into the secret club. Maybe you could ask them one more question to get them the last point they need?
I've got the perfect question. What is the best county in California?
That's correct. Chief, would you please give us the honor of swearing in our newest secret club members?
I would be happy to. I'm going to ask everyone to raise their right hand and repeat after me. Are we ready? I can't hear you. Are we ready? There we go. Here we go. As the newest member of the secret club, I promise to be, I need you to be a little louder. I promise to be a good citizen of Orange County. And observe the history that is all around me. I will share my love for history with my friends and family. And I will do my best to make my history a story to be proud of.
Great job! Give yourself a round of applause. And let's give a big hand to our newest Certified Gift of History teachers. All of the new club members will find a copy of Nothing Rhymes with Orange and a club member button in the book bag that you will be given on your way out of the stadium. We've talked a lot about the history of Orange County, but the thing to remember about history is that we all write it together. And I can't wait to see the chapters that you will contribute to our future history.
Nothing Rhymes with Orange is about kids just like you who are also learning about Orange County. You and your teachers will have lots of fun taking this journey together.
Now, how many of you out there plan to attend college after you graduate from high school? I can't hear you. That is great. And because of all the things you've learned here, California State University Fullerton is sending home special diplomas to your teachers for all of you that were here today. How about that?
Thanks for coming, everybody. Students, I'd like you to take a look at all of the times and people represented on the stage and give everyone that came here today a thank you with one last OC. That's right, even you, Mickey, along with our sponsors. Ready? 1, 2, 3, OC. Thanks for coming, everybody.
So long, everybody. Have a great day.
Goodbye, class.
Thank you for joining us for the Children's Educational Foundation of Orange County's Gift of History event.